إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همسه ونفخه ونفثه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى، والصلاة والسلام على نبيه الذي اصطفى وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار الأوفى، والسلام على من اتبع الهدى. وبعد، المستمعين الكرام، الإخوان والأخوات، خاصة الطلاب الأعزاء، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. A very good evening to all. It is already the 7th day in Ramadan. Just like it was 7 days before Ramadan, it is now the 7 days in Ramadan. And sooner or later, it is going to be 7 days after Ramadan. And that will be the Sitta or Sab'ah of Shawwal, whether we like it or not. The time remains, the time goes nowhere, but we are changing with time. The time recycles, it elapses not, it finishes not, it lapses not, so it recycles. So, we have to do what we do with time and in time and on time, and of course over time sometimes. So the point here is, today is already the 7th day of Ramadan, so marking the 7th series of our discussion, our Ramadan Special for this year. Having said that, let's go back to let's face our discussion. Yesterday, we discussed about al-wudu, and we made mention that under purification, at-tahara generally, so we are going to specifically talk about 3 for now. So one of those 3 was discussed yesterday. That was spiritual washing. We call it ablution, al-wudu. So the second of the 3 is ghuslu al-Janabah, the bathing, the spiritual bathing after intercourse. The third is Tayammum. Tayammum that we refer to as dry ablution or sound ablution or soil ablution or ablution that we perform using the earth crust or earth materials. We are going to focus on these 3 for a start, but as we go towards the end of Ramadan, we're most likely going to talk about the other set of purification, such as Ghusl Nifas, the childbirth purification, Ghusl Dukhul al-Islam, so the birthing, the purification of acceptance of Islam or entering into Islam. Okay, so for today, inshallah wa bihawlihi, we are going to focus on two major forms of purification or kinds of purification. The first, as we mentioned, is Ghuslul Janabah, purification from intercourse, from sexual intercourse or sexual experience. We call it experience because sometimes it doesn't have to necessarily be intercourse per se. Okay, we're going to explain this as we go on. So when does it become birthing of intercourse? That is when the actual meeting between a male and female, mixture between male and female organ, the exchange of sexual enjoyment, feelings between two opposite sex. That is the real janaba. The other one will be experience. Experience, for example, during attainment of puberty stage. When a boy, a lad, a young lad, grows into puberty age, one of the signs of attaining the age of puberty is the secretion of the semen from the private organ of the male. For example, sleeping and waking up wetted, okay, wetted all over the body. And this is different from peeing or weeing over on the bed. No. So the boy will know, understand the transformation, that a transformation has been experienced. So having experienced that, so the boy starts with the birthing of Janabah. So that is the birthing purification for entering into the age of puberty, age of maturity. A lady also experiences that, okay, when she attains the age of puberty after many signs and many signals, okay, so she also experiences the same thing. And in that case, she also goes to perform the ghusl. So this is an experience, okay, it is not an intercourse. Another explanation, an example of experience is when one sleeps and one dreams of something, of having intercourse in the dream, or having a caress, and that resulted to secretion of the semen, of the sperm. And when one wakes up, one finds oneself wetted. Okay, so with this, Ghusl Janaba becomes necessary, becomes obligation. Okay, so these are forms and ways where that necessitates the observation of Ghusl Janaba. All right, having explained that and clarified that, in some other instance, Most especially, let's say, in the contemporary society, particularly a society that is not Islamically influenced, where there are uh, emotional and passionate exploitation throughout the corners. So, and one experiences the aura or the sight enjoyment with the environment, with people moving in the environment, dressing skimpily or something. And towards that, that resulted into the seclusion of semen. That also necessitates ghusl al-janaba. All right? There are many other issues and factors that necessitate that. All right. It is necessary, it becomes obligatory because without performing the ritual bath, one will not be uh, liable for observing Salawatul Khams, the Salawatul Mafruda, and some other obligatory acts. So, because the basis is Inna Allah tayyib, fala yakbalu illa tayyiban. Allah is pure and He accepts all that is pure. That is, He accepts nothing except that which is pure. All right. So, and we have all these bases in the Quranic verses. وَإِن كُنتُمْ جُنُبًا فَاتَّطَهَّرُوا وَإِن كُنتُمْ جُنُبًا فَاتَّطَهَّرُوا. If you if you find yourself wetted up, okay, with sperm, with semen, okay, فَاتَّطَهَّرُوا, engage on purification, observe purification, or in kuntum junuban, in any other form, okay, whether in the practical sense or in the experimental sense. So ghusl becomes necessary. Otherwise, we will not be able to observe other obligations. Of course, one can still fast the day of Ramadan when one is still in the state of impurity of Janabah. So that we might explain later. But of course, one will not be able to pray Fajr without purifying, without purification. Zuhr also will not be observed, but the fasting will be accepted because it does not necessitate the state of wudu or ghusl janaba for the fasting to be valid. Okay, but as for salat, okay, as for qiyamul layl, as for recitation of the Quran, as for some other acts such as tawaf, okay, so one needs to be pure. Okay, so observing zakat does not require you to purify or to. So you may be in junub, you may be majnub and still offer zakat. So that wouldn't be a problem. Okay, that is if your conscience can take it. Now, here we are. So that is the explanation, the close picture of what is called al-janaba. So the janaba is taken from al-jambu, al-jambu. So moving closer, maintaining proximity, al-janaba, proximity, which translates to the experience of bodily contact between a man and woman, between a male and female. Okay, most necessarily, an husband and wife between couples. So that is what we call al-janaba. moving closer together passionately, affectionately, emotionally, okay, and filially. So that is whatever comes there, come out from that conjunction will necessitate uh, Ghusl Janabah. Okay, so adabul Ghusl min al Janabah, adabul Ghusl min al Janabah. So the ethics of observing the bathing, the washing of Janaba from Janaba. That is the ethics, the ways to do it, the practical ways, and some theoretical ways of doing it, of observing the ghusl, the purification. So Imam Al-Ghazali, don't forget, we are still reading from this book for those who are joining for the first time or those who will be watching this for the first time. We are reading from this book, al-Hidayah of Imam Al-Ghazali. So simply translated as the beginning of guidance or the principle of guidance or the fundamental of guidance. So we are reading today from page 88. We are reading from page 88 today. Okay, from page 88 today. And we hope to finish until page 91. So we are not going to take too long. Okay, so we hope to finish up to page 91, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permit us for that. All right, and if we have some time left, we might proceed to 2 more pages, but tentatively, we are concentrating on about 5 pages, okay, 5 or 4 pages. Okay, we're not rushing, we're not in any way rushing it. Okay, and we are reading from the book, so the soft copy is also available online for those who wish to download it. Imam Al-Ghazali says, فَإِذَا أَصَابَتْكَ جَنَابَةٌ. Mind you, Imam Al-Ghazali is echoing the Quranic direction and the Hadith, the prophetic Hadith direction. So this that he wrote is from his understanding, is an extraction of his understanding of the Quranic direction and the prophetic direction to observe this. Okay, he says, فَإِذَا أَصَابَتْكَ جَنَابَةٌ مِنْ احْتِلَامٍ أَوْ وِقَاءٍ فَخُذِ الْإِنَاءَ إِلَى الْمُغْتَسَلِ. Okay. فَإِنْ أَصَابَتْكَ جَنَابَةٌ, if you become intercoursed, if you notice that you have become wet, if you have secreted semen or sperm, أو وقاء من احتلام أو وقاء, either through dream, okay, the metaphorical sense, whether in metaphorical sense, أو وقاء, or in practical sense. Metaphorical sense, as we have explained and clarified, okay, whether through al-bulugh or through sleeping, dreaming, or through sight enjoyment, or through too much of mingling with opposite sexes, or through watching any, sometimes films, movie that arouse your urge, and through that you secrete the juice. So either through the metaphorical sense or through the practical sense. in asobatika janaba. So if you are inflicted with janaba, okay, with wetness, فخذ الإناء إلى المغتسل. Okay, al-ina'a, so it is a container. It could be container or bowl, B-O-W-L, bowl, or it could also be a pail of water. It could also be a bucket of water. Okay, so فخذ الإناء, take a container, take a pail, take a bucket of water, okay, ilal mughtasali, and go to al-mughtasal here, the place of bath, where you bath. Okay, it could be al-hammam, it could be a bathroom, okay, and in case and situation whereby the bathroom and the toilet are situated together, okay, so it could be toilet also. All right, so what is here, or what is prevalent here is khudh al-ina'a ila al-mughtasali, take a bucket of water or a bath of water or a bowl of water and head towards the bathroom. When you get to the bathroom, واغسل يديك أولا ثلاثا. واغسل يديك أولا ثلاثا. So start by washing your hands 3 times. Start by washing your hands 3 times. Your palms to the wrist, your hand to the wrist, okay? To the wrist. Okay, start by washing your hand to the wrist 3 times. After washing your hand, okay, that means, so the practical way is you get a bowl of water, you get a container of water, a bucket of water, and on top of the bucket of water, you get a cup or a plastic, a smaller plastic, and you use the smaller plastic to take some water to wash your hand first. Okay, to wash your hand first. Then after washing the hand, then you wash any other spot in your body where the impurity has touched. Okay? وَأَزِلْ مَا عَلَى بَدَنِكَ مِنْ قَدَرٍ. Okay? وَأَزِلْ مَا عَلَى بَدَنِكَ مِنْ قَدَرٍ. Then you remove the dirties wherever the dirty has spotted your body, you remove it first, you wash it first. Okay, we repeat. First wash the hand to the wrist 3 times, then wash those places or spots in your body where the impurities have touched. Okay, that is the second stage, the second step. Then the other steps could be done in 2 ways. Okay, after washing your 2 hands and washing the place that is touched or wetted, okay, with impurity, so the next stage could be done in 2 styles. Style number 1 is what is explained here. Style number 2 is what I'm going to clarify here. Starting from style number 2, after washing the places that have become rough or impure in your body, so you proceed to taking shower, okay, showering the whole body. Showering the whole body, starting from the right sides first. Starting from the right sides first. Okay, so you wash the right arm, the right side of the front, the right side of the back, then you proceed to the left sides. Okay, when you finish the left side, then you wash the front, the stomach, then you wash the back. Okay, for those whose hands are too short to reach the back, you may use the towel. wet towel to rub it. Okay, or in some instance, there are some sponge that have the handle that you can use to scrub the back. That is also allowed. So after washing the upper part, you proceed to the lower part. Okay, before this, you have already washed the private part that was affected with the impurity. Then you wash the right thigh, the right upper leg. Then you wash the left upper leg. Then you proceed downward to wash the shackle or the shank. Okay, you wash the shank, right one, then you wash the left shank. After that, you go to the foot. Okay, you wash the right one, then you wash the left one. Okay, so that is the way to go about the second style. Uh, but for those who are using shower, okay, the shower, who has the shower in the toilet, necessarily you do not have to go in with bath of water or pail or bowl of water. So open the tap gently first, wash the hand 3 times, observing the minimum use of water, then wash the private part, then open the water on your head. So you start by washing and rinsing your head, wash the face and from top. Okay, then start by washing the right, then washing the left, then with the water flowing down. Okay, so uh, one of the sunnah of bathing janaba is that you start from the top before the lower part of the body. Okay, you start from the right part before the left part. Okay, so and if there is any part of the skin that is rolling over each other, so you stretch the parts of the skin to make sure that water touches, most especially the abdomen, the nerve button. So for those whose nerve button are inside, so you stretch it, okay, not pulling it out because it hurts. Okay, not pulling, you stretch it to make sure that water touches everywhere. All right. So that is the first time. Then after finishing the bathing, the showering, then you have to perform wudu. You have to perform wudu. But this wudu is not three times. It's only one time. Okay. For instance, you wash your hand 3 times. You rinse your mouth 3 times. You sniff in and sniff out water once. Sorry, not 3 times. One time. Okay. And one time of washing the hand. One time of rinsing the mouth. One time of sniffing in and sniffing out. We call it inhaling and exhaling water. Okay, then one time of washing the face. And the intention for purification comes when you are washing the face. Just as you will bring the intention when you are performing ordinary wudu, okay, so you make intention of removing the impurity from the body. And if there is any salat that is approaching, you may also join the niyyah of salat with that. Okay, so washing the face also once. Okay, of course, before that, so you wash the right hand, okay, to the elbow, all the parts of the wudu. You wash one time. Okay, wipe the head. Okay, normally one time on and off. Okay, some people you maintain all the azkar that was mentioned yesterday in the previous discussion. Okay, uh, on and off. Then you wash the wipe the ear also. Then you wash the leg. Then you come with ashhadu an la ilaha illallah as we discussed yesterday. Okay, so the explanation here is the ghusl, the bathing comes first, then the wudu comes second. So that is one way of performing ghusl janaba. The other way is perform the wudu first. Perform the wudu first. But you do not, when you perform wudu and you arrive at the wiping of the hair, you stop there. Then you start by washing the head, the parts of the body from the right and left and so on. Then you end up by washing the leg, the foot last. Okay, so that will end your wudu with the bathing. But the danger, the point in this style, in this option is that you have to be very, very careful that your hands does not, okay, your hand, you do not touch your private organ while bathing. If you started with making wudu, if you have started with making wudu, then you have to be careful not to touch your private organ until you finish the whole thing. Otherwise, if you mistakenly or consciously or unconsciously touch your private part again, so that means you have to repeat the wudu again at the end of the ghusl. So in order to avoid that repetition and the mistakes, so it is more preferable to start with the bathing and the showering first, then you come up with what? With al-wudu later. Okay, so now let's go into the book and continue the explanation and the reading. Okay, after washing your two hands to the wrist and after cleansing the wet parts, وَتَوَضَّأْ كَمَا سَبَقَ فِي وُضُوئِكَ لِلصَّلَاةِ. Okay, then you perform wudu as we have explained previously in the last lesson, in the last discussion, just like your wudu for salat. مُعَ جَمِيعِ الدَّعَوَاتِ وَالْأَذْكَارِ. You have to, while performing the wudu, whether before the ghusl or after the ghusl, you have to observe all the supplications and the remembrance of Allah that we mentioned, we stipulated. وَأَخِرْ غَسْلَ قَدَمَيْكَ. Okay, Kaila Yadi Alima'u. Okay, then you postpone, you delay the washing of your 2 feet. Okay, delay the washing of your 2 feet until the end. Kaila Yadi Alima'u, so that you don't end up wasting water. Okay, فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ مِنَ الْوُضُوءِ. When you are done with wudu, okay, فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ يعني فَإِذَا انتهيت من الوضوء. When you are done, when you are finished making wudu, فَصُبَّ الْمَاءَ عَلَى شِكِّكَ الْأَيْمَنِ ثَلَاثًا. صُبَّ الْمَاءَ, that is if you are using plastic to take water from the bowl, from the bucket. Okay, صُبَّ الْمَاءَ عَلَى شِكِّكَ الْأَيْمَنِ ثَلَاثًا. Okay, pour water on your right sides, 3 times. For example, wash your arm 3 times, your right arm 3 times. Wash your front chest, your front right chest 3 times. Your back right side 3 times. Okay, then you proceed to the left. Okay, wa anta nawin raf'a al-janabati. Okay, so while pouring the water, so you bring the intention of removing the impurity from your body. Okay, again, subbal ma'a ala shikkika al-aymani. After making the wudu, pour water on your right side 3 times with the intention of purification. ثم على شقك الأيسر ثلاثا. Then proceed to washing your right sides 3 times also. Okay. Then ثم على رأسك ثلاثا. Then after that you pour water on your head 3 times. All right. وأدلك ما أقبل من بدنك وما أدبر. So you use your hand to rub. Okay, rub over all your body. ma aqbala wa ma adbara, both the front and the backs. Okay, both the fronts and the backs. Okay, the chest, the front chest, the back. Okay, so the stomach, the abdomen. Okay, front and the back, the buttock, everywhere you wash. Okay, wa adluk ma aqbala min badanika wa ma adbara. So you wash, you use your hand to rub over all the front and the back of your body. وَخَلِّلْ شَعْرَ رَأْسِكَ خَلِّلْ شَعْرَ رَأْسِكَ uh, scatter your hair, okay, your hair, okay, scatter your hair, that is, use your hand to scatter your hair to make sure water penetrates, or if that is not easy, you use the comb, okay, you use the comb to make sure you comb it, scatter it, make sure water penetrates into the head, water touches the skin, okay. وأوصل الماء إلى معاطف البدن ومنابت الشعر ما خف منه وما كثف. أوصل الماء, make sure water touches معاطف البدن, all parts of the body, okay, all road part of the body, of the skin, every part of the body, every part of the skin, wamanabiti shari, and all the roots of the hair. Wherever there are hairs in your body, make sure water touches the root. Okay, ma khaffa minhu wa ma kathufa, either for those who are hairy or those who are not hairy. Okay, either those who have little or some hair in their body, or those who have heavy growth of hair in their body. So water should touch all the skin, okay, everywhere. All right. واحذر أن تمس ذكرك بعد الوضوء. Okay, for those who prefer making wudu first. احذر, be careful. أن تمس ذكرك أو فرجك. Be careful not to touch your sexual organ بعد الوضوء, after performing the wudu. Okay? If it happens that your hand touches your sexual organ after making the wudu, فَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ الْيَدُّ, if the hand touches it again after performing wudu, فَأَعِدِ الْوُضُوءَ, so you have to repeat the wudu, the ablution again. All right? So this is for those who are using bath, pail, bowl of water, container. But for those who are using shower, okay, so it will not be easy opening the shower and putting the head away and washing the first side first. But if you put that into practice, so you will be used to it. But it is enough to just open the shower, okay, start washing from the head, washing, okay, scrub it 3 times, wash the face, wash everywhere, wash the right, maintain the right, okay, the right before the left, maintain all the criteria. So the washing is washing and the bathing is okay. It should be enough. Okay, la yukallifu Allahu nafsan. Okay, so there should not be too much embodiment on that. Okay, what is important is you observe it the right way and the proper way that you have to observe it. Okay, then وَالْفَرِيضَةُ مِنْ جُمْلَةِ ذَلِكَ. Okay, the obligation, what is obligatory of all that we have mentioned, okay, these are the obligatory ones. Number 1, وَالْفَرِيضَةُ مِنْ جُمْلَةِ ذَلِكَ, from all that we have mentioned, from all stages that we have mentioned. So what are obligatory? The obligatory acts of the ghusl are: number 1, al-niyya. Number 2, isti'abul badani bil ghusli. Okay, al-niyya is number 1, intention. Why pouring water? When you open the tap, okay, the shower, and water starts flowing, so you make your intention of purifying from the impurity of Janabah. Okay, you can say simply, Nawaitu Raf'a Hadath al-Janaba an Jami' al-Jasadi Lillahi Ta'ala. Okay, Nawaitu Raf'a Hadath al-Janaba an Jami' al-Jasadi Lillahi Ta'ala. Or you can simply say, Nawaitu Gusla al-Janaba. Okay, Nawaitu Gusla al-Janaba Lillahi Ta'ala. Okay, Nawaitu Gusla al-Janaba Lillahi Ta'ala. Simply as that. Okay, it could be longer, it could be shorter. So, Niya is Niya. Number 2 obligation is isti'abul badani bil ghasli. So covering the whole body with water, washing the whole body. Excuse me. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
معذرة فضيلة الدكتور، مع حضرتك وليد عبد الرحمن. أنا طالب
أهلا
في
وسهلا.
كلية الدراسات الإسلامية.
أهلا وسهلا.
معذرة أنا عندي مشكلة، أنا حضرت الدورة من أولها لكن لم أستطع التسجيل اليوم لدخول الامتحان. أحاول منذ الصباح لكن لا أستطيع. تواصلت على الصفحة مع الأستاذ هايو ومع الصفحة لكن لم يستجب أحد ولم أستطع حل المشكلة ولا أدري ماذا أفعل.
أوكي، ليست مشكلة إن شاء الله. هل ممكن أن نتكلم بعد نصف ساعة تقريبا إن شاء الله على الساعة 7 تماما إن شاء الله؟
الساعة كم؟
على الساعة 7 يعني.
إن شاء الله.
أنا الآن في برنامج
إن شاء الله
إن شاء الله بإذن الله على الساعة 7 تماما بإذن الله.
إن شاء الله.
شكرا جزيلا.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Yeah, so the second obligation is isti'abul badani bil ghasli, encompassing the whole body with washing. Make sure water touches the whole body. Okay, and well, for those who cannot bath with cold water, that is another issue. You may actually bath with hot water, warm water. Okay. What is important is that the water you want to use is in itself pure. Okay, the water you want to use in itself is pure. You can use tap water, you can use stream water, you can use pond water, you can use rain water. Okay, so we can also use the what we call it, the sanitized water. Okay, sanitized water. Okay, and purified water from the ocean, from the salty water, also we can use. Okay, in short, any water, type of water that we can drink, we can also use it to perform wudu, and we can make it to perform ghusl. Okay, so all the body should be washed all over. Now, وَمِنَ الْوُضُوءِ so that is from the part of the faridah of ghusl, making niyyah and making sure that water touches all the parts of the body. So the fara'id in the making of the wudu, what are the fardu? Ghaslul wajhi wal yadaini ma'al mirfaqaini. So all the parts that were mentioned in the Quranic text. Okay. وإذا قمتم إلى صلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين. Okay, so these parts that are mentioned in the text, so they are the obligatory parts. Ghaslul wajhi, washing the face. Ghaslul yadaini ma'al mirfaqaini, washing the two hands towards the elbows. Mashu ba'di rasi, so wiping parts of the head or wiping the head, okay, in short. غسل الرجلين مع الكعبين, washing the two legs until the ankles, until the two ankles. Okay, all this marratan, one time. Okay, so ma'an then accompanied with intention. All right, so here you are during the ghusl janaba, you are having two intentions. One intention while pouring water over your shikl ayman over the right side 3 times. I mean, when you start showering, you bring the intention of purifying from the janaba. Then another time when you are performing wudu, when you reach the washing of the face, you bring another intention. Okay, so the intention is also min al faraid, of the obligation, and another one is at-tartib, uh, washing them accordingly in succession. In succession, that is, you categorically, okay. Don't wash leg and then you come to the face and then you go back to the ear, then you go back to the hand. No, wash it as in steps, okay, as listed, okay. Start washing the hand, the mouth, the nose, the face, the hands, the head, the ears, then the leg. So that is by 13, okay, in arranging order, okay, in other words, in ascending order, okay. So that is 13. So those are the faraid parts, the obligatory parts. Any other acts in wudu, any other parts in the ghusl, so they fall under the sunnah part. Wama adahu sunanu muakkadatun. Okay, the rest deeds, the rest activities, okay, they are sunanum muakkadatu. They are obligated sunnah. They are confirmed sunnah. They are necessitated practice of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fadluha kafirun wa thawabuha jazilun. So the virtue of doing it is innumerous. Okay, it's a lot. Okay, it is highly okay encouraged to do it. Wa thawabuha jazilun, and the reward of doing it is a lot. Okay, it's immense. وَالْمُتَهَاوِنُ بِهَا خَاسِرٌ. Anyone who misses doing this sunnah al-mu'akkada, okay, this obligated sunnah, this necessitated sunnah, anyone who neglects it, وَالْمُتَهَاوِنُ بِهَا خَاسِرٌ. Anyone who neglects it is a loser. It's missing a lot. Okay, so بل هو بأصل فرائده مخاطر. Okay, anyone who neglects this sunan al-muakkada, so he also is involved in danger of having his faraid, his obligatory acts accepted. Okay, بل هو بأصل فرائده مخاطر. Okay, so anyone who negates, who refuses, who rejects, who does not observe the Sunan al-Mu'akkada, then he tends to lose, he is in danger of losing the faraid. Okay, originally he is in danger of losing his faraid, his obligation that he thinks he have done. فإن النوافل جوابر الفرائض. Because the supererogatory actions, they are complements. They complement the obligatory acts. Okay, so those who negate and refuse to observe the nawafil, they actually not complementing their obligatory acts. So that is about Ghusl and Janabah. Now, we move to the next point before we end the session. Adabu Tayammum, because it is related to both al-wudu and al-ghusl. So we want to talk about it, the making dry wudu, dry ablution, okay? And for those who, for example, after engaging on intercourse, and they cannot, the weather is cold, they cannot afford using cold water to shower or to bath. So they might actually, and there is no, okay, for example, let's say they have problem using water, whether medically or physically or otherwise. Okay, so those they can use tayammum. All right. What are the conditions necessitating tayammum? There are many conditions. We're going to mention from it some. Number one is scarcity of water. Scarcity of water. Okay, scarcity or lack of water. Scarcity of water. There is water, but it is very scarce. Scarce because the place that we were going to get water from is so far that if we want to go there, both the normal time and the paying time of Salat will miss it, will be missed. So then in that case, we can use tayammum. Number two is lack of water. When there is no water at all, for example, we are in the desert and there is no water, no hope of water, then in that case, we can perform wudu. Okay, number three, there is water, but the water is just enough to survive on, for drinking, just to survive on. So in this case, we do not use the water for wudu. We reserve the water for drinking, then we perform tayammum. The fourth case that necessitates wudu is someone who is on medication and he is advised by the medics not to approach water. So approaching water because you want to perform wudu may endanger your life, thereby even stopping you permanently from performing any religious action. So by this, you are duty bound to listen and obey the medical advice of not touching water. So in that case, you are required to perform tayammum. Okay? And in another case, when we are traveling, when we are on trip, although there is water, but we are not sure whether this water will be enough, will survive us, will be suffice enough to take us to our destination if we use it for wudu. So in that case, we don't use that water for wudu, we reserve it for survival. Then we can perform tayammum. Okay, these are some of the conditions necessitating replacing wudu with what? With tayammum. And another condition that can necessitate tayammum is that when one engaged in intercourse, he does not have power or ability to use cold water, okay? And he does not want to miss the Salatul Fajr, all right, in Jama'ah. So, and he also has he's medically handicapped on using water aspect, okay? So he cannot touch water, he cannot use water. So in that sense, so such a person may perform tayammum it may use tissues and other things to cleanse the dirty parts or the rough part of his body, then perform tayammum first in what? In performing and observing the salat. Okay, then afterward he could settle the issue of showering, bathing, preparing hot water, But in some madhahib, most especially in madhab Imam Malik, anyone who is sure that he will not be able to use cold water after engaging on intercourse, so it is not approved for such a person to approach his wife, okay, to approach his partner. So you know you are not going to be able to use cold water. So after finishing, so don't approach each other. So until you have prepared the water that you need, okay, the hot water that you're going to be using for bathing. You know, Fajr is approaching, and you want to do the normal. Okay, so you make sure you prepare the hot water first, then or the hot tub or the hot shower, okay, then before you approach each other, so that you won't be carrying impurity about. All right, so those are the conditions, some of the conditions necessitating the performance of tayammum. Now, adabu tayammum. So now, what are the tools used? What do we use in making tayammum? Okay, we can use the hard crust, the uppermost level of the heart of the soil. Okay, by removing the dirty parts and using the soil. Okay, we can use block, okay, the block and gist, okay, the block, okay, that they use in building houses, okay, and we can also use the wall that is made of what of bricks. We can use the wall, okay, that is not painted anyway, and we can use surfaces, okay, some other surfaces, okay, and we can use stone, okay, stones and pebbles and rocks. We can use them. All right. Now, فَإِنْ أَجَزْتَ عَنِ الْمَاءِ, we go into the reading. فَإِنْ أَجَزْتَ عَنِ الْمَاءِ لِفَقْدِهِ بَعْدَ الطَّلَبِ أو لمانع من الوصول إليه من سبع أو من حابس أو كان الماء الحاضر تحتاج إليه لعطشك أو عطش رفيقك أو كان ملكا لغيرك ولم يبع إلا بأكثر من ثمن المثل أو كان بك جراحة أو مرض تخاف منه على نفسك فاصبر حتى يدخل وقت الفريضة. Okay. إن أجزت عن الماء, if you are unable to get water, if you are unable to reach water, لفقده, because of the lack of water, meaning for lack of water, if you cannot find water, okay, لفقده بعد الطلب, you have searched everywhere, you have looked everywhere, you have inquired, still there's no way, no water, no way, okay, either for the lack of water, okay, for the laxity, or لمانع من الوصول إليه, or for something prohibiting you, for a prohibition, okay, or you are prohibited, or you are not allowed, you cannot go to the place of water where water is, due to saboing, because there are dangerous animals, okay, there are dangerous animals, carnivorous animals along the way that we're going to pass to the stream or to the water. Or there are armed robbers, there are dangers, okay, of any kind, okay, along the way of getting water. Okay, so that falls under scarcity. Okay, so either through lack of water, the laxity, or through the scarcity of water. So that is second. Number 3, أو كان الماء الحاضر تحتاج إليه لعطشك, or الماء الحاضر, the water that you have, okay, the water that is available, or the available water, تحتاج إليه لعطشك, you need it to quench your thirst, okay, for your drink, for your survival. أو عطش رفيقك, or for people going with you, for your friends, for your colleague, okay, you don't need the water, but someone around you might require the water to survive. So, in that sense, you don't use the water for wudu, so you may perform tayammum. Okay? In another word, in addition to that, how can a milikan ligairika? Okay? Or for example, there is water and the water is owned to somebody else. For example, a well water. Okay? It's not yours. It is owned by somebody. Okay? There is water in the well, you could draw it, but the person insists on selling the water. وَلَمْ يَبِعْ إِلَّا بِأَكْثَرِ مِنْ ثَمَنِ الْمِثْلِ. Okay? How can al-ma'u milkan lighayrika? The water belongs to someone else. وَلَمْ يَبِعْ إِلَّا بِأَكْثَرِ مِنْ ثَمَنِ الْمِثْلِ. And he wants to sell it with double of the price. Okay? He won't sell the water to you إِلَّا بِأَكْثَرِ مِنْ ثَمَنِ الْمِثْلِ, unless with over the double of the price. Okay, so in that way, it becomes riba. So you don't engage as a Muslim into riba. Okay, so if that's in that case, there is water you want to buy, but buying it will put you into another prohibition, then you don't buy the water, you make tayammum. Okay, another condition is kana bika jirahatun, you have a wound on your body, okay, through accident or through anything. Okay, kana bika jirahatun, you have a wound or an open wound. Aw maradun, or you have a sickness, you have a illness, you have a medical condition, takhafu minhu ala nafsika, that you are afraid of, okay, that makes you not to be eligible for using water. Okay, so in all these cases, fasbir, you have to be patient. Hatta yadkhula waqtul farida. You have to wait until it is time for adhan, until it is time for the farida, for the obligation of salat. Okay, wait until it is time for farida. Thumma, okay, aqsid sa'idan tayyiban. Then, when it is time for salat, aqsid sa'idan tayyiban. To get a sa'idan heart crust. Okay, the uppermost level of the soil of the heart. Okay, tayyiban, that is clean. Get a clean heart crust. Alayhi turabun, so that has some soils. Khalisun, that is pure. Tahirun, that is clean. Layyinun, that are soft. Okay, not too hard. Fadrib alayhi kaffayka. Use your two palms to place on the soil. Okay, place your two palms on the soil. Damman bayna asabi'ika. Okay, then holding your fingers together. Okay, holding your fingers together, touch the soil. Okay, when we istibahata salat, then make intention of performing salat with the tayammum. Okay, fanwi istibahata salat. Okay, make intention of using the tayammum for salat. Okay, then after that, you raise up the palm, shake both of them lightly for the hard soils to remove. Then wamsah bihima wajhaka. Okay, wamsah bihima wajhaka kullahu marratan wahidatan. Use the two palms. Wamsah bihima, wipe. Use both of them to wipe your face, the whole parts of the wudu, from the mambit shari, from the uppermost, from the root of the hair in the top, okay, the forehead, until the ears and the chin. Okay. وَامْسَحْ بِهِمَا وَجْهَكَ كُلَّهُ مَرَّةً وَاحِدَةً. Okay, wipe your face, the whole face with them one time. وَلَا تَتَكَلَّفْ إِيصَالَ الْغُبَارِ إِلَى مَنَابِتِ الشُّعُورِ خَفَّتْ أَوْ كَثُفَتْ. And don't worry, don't care touching the ears with al-gubar, with dust. Okay, what is important is the face, the skin face. Okay, the skin part, the skinny part. Okay, so don't mind, don't worry. Isol al-gubar ila manabit shu'ur, putting or pouring to rub, okay, or a soil on the air, on the face. No, okay. Khaffat or kafafat, either it is light air or heavy air. Okay, so after that, ثم أنزل خاتمك واضرب ضربة ثانية مفرجا بين أصابعك وامسح بهما يديك مع مرفقيك. Then, for the second time, أنزل خاتمك, remove your ring. Okay, remove your ring. Okay, remove your ring. All right. Wadrib, okay, inza khatamaka, remove the ring. Wadrib dorbatan thaniyatan, then you use the two palms to beat the to place the two palms on the soil for the second time. But this second time, mufarrijan bayna asabi'ika, you scatter your fingers. Scatter your fingers. In the first one, you close your fingers, right? But the second time you scatter the fingers, okay? Place them on the soil, okay? Then you raise them up, okay? Khaftan khafifan. So you nafid, you shake it, you shake them lightly to make sure the rock and the hard part were removed. Then wamsah bihima yadayka ma'a mirfaqika. So use both of them to wash, to rub your two hands towards your elbows. Okay, so in some practice, you hold the two hands until you make a comma. Okay, don't separate the two hands, then start mubasharatan ila iqamati as-salat, ila salat. So they say it is more preferable that you perform the tayammum very close to where you are going to observe salat. Okay, so very, very close to where you are going to perform salat. Okay, فَإِنْ لَمْ تَسْتَوْعِبْهُمَا فَاضْرِبْ ضَرْبَةً أُخْرَى إِلَىٰ أَنْ تَسْتَوْعِبَهُمَا. Okay, if for example, for the second time when you put your hands on the soil, so the soil that you put on your hand, you are not convinced that it is enough to rub your hands. Okay, then you are allowed to use another time with your hand, for your hand. Okay, فَإِنْ لَمْ تَسْتَوْعِبْهُمَا. So if you are not able to use it for the general hands, okay, then adrik dorbatan ukhra. So you put the two hands on the soil for this another time, for the third time, ila antastawibahuma, until you are able to rub the whole hands with them. Okay, thumma imsa ihda kafayka bil ukhra. Okay, thumma imsa ihda kafayka bil ukhra. So then you use each hand to rub the other. Okay, use the left hand to rub the right side, the right hand, and you use the right hand to rub the left hand. Okay, ثم امسح إحدى كفيك بالأخرى. Okay, so use your right, each of the palms to rub each of the hand. Okay, so wamsa ma bayna asabi'ika bitakhlil. Then you also wipe, okay, in between your fingers as well. Wipe in between your fingers as well. Okay, yani ma bayna asabi'ika. So in between your fingers, bitakhlil. You scatter them. You make sure you rub them. Okay, thoroughly. Wasalli bihi fardan wahidan. So you can only use one tayammum to perform one obligation. So not like you use one tayammum to pray Zuhur, Asr, Maghrib. No, you can only use one. You can only perform tayammum once for one obligation. Okay. وصل به فرضا واحدا وما شئت من النوافل بعد الفرض. Okay. After observing the obligation, for example, Zuhur prayer, then you may also proceed immediately to observe the nawafil, the supererogation after the obligation. But you may not wait, use the same tayammum to wait until Asr time, then you use it for Asr time, thinking that you have not got out of the masjid. That's not the way. Okay, one tayammum for one obligation and it's nawafil. Okay, فإذا أردت فرضا ثانيا فاستأنف له تيمما آخر. So if you are still unable to get water by the time another obligation approaches, so then you still have to make and perform another tayammum. Okay? فإذا أردت فرضا ثانيا, if you want to observe another obligation, then istanif lahu tayammuman akhar. Yani you have to observe and perform another tayammum for it. All right? So that we end our discussion for today. So we promise to not exceeding 1 hour every day. Okay, it is already, I think, approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay, so this is where we are going to stop today. We are able to cover from page 88 until page 91 as tentatively projected. Okay, so inshallah tomorrow we're going to be continuing from page 92. Inshallah wa bihawlihi. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to pardon all our mistakes, misinterpretation, misperception throughout this session. And whatever it is right there is kamalan lillahi ta'ala. So we ask Allah to give the reward to our glorious Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to equally serve the reward to our shuyukhs, our muallimin, our teachers, our guidance, our counselors, our murshids, and those who have trained us or benefited us or influenced our life, okay, in any form, whether they know it or they do not know it, whether they understand that they have influenced us or they do not understand it, and whether we feel it or we do not feel it. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala share the reward abundantly with them. We equally ask Allah to share the reward with our parents, those who are gone and have fulfilled their promise. May Allah forgive them and pardon them and make Jannah their return. Those who are still alive, we ask Allah to elongate their life in peace and harmony and wealth and joy and happiness. And we ask Allah to increase us in knowledge, guide us aright properly, and to bless us with consummate understanding of His deen. إنه على ذلك قدير وبالإجابة جدير. نعم المولى ونعم النصير. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين. ونكتفي بهذا القدر والكفاية حتى نلتقي. في حلقة القادمة بإذن الله، وبالله التوفيق والهداية، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك، نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك، ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك حقا وصدقا وعدلا. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. معذرة أستاذ الدكتور.
غير مشكلة، كيف الحال؟
هل يوجد وقت أو نجعلها بعد الإفطار؟
لا فضل نتكلم.
طيب.